Hello everybody, welcome. Hi everybody, welcome. My name is Matt and today we are going to be doing the Matrix Fitness live workout. We've done one at 7:45 this morning, now it's time for our midday, our 12 o'clock class. In our class today we're going to be running through 3 rounds. In our rounds I've always targeted them in different ways. The first round is going to be a conditioning workout. Then it's going to be core, and then we're going to have a combat round as well. So we're going to have a few punches and a few kicks built into our workouts. You just need a little bit of space around you. I've got a mat sat up next to me, so that way I can use that to help you feel a little bit more comfortable. So if you've got a mat or a towel, or even a jumper to place your hands onto, that makes you feel a little bit more comfortable, then that's great. I'll take you through lots of different options, and I'll do every single repetition with you so you can get the best workout and listen and understand exactly what I'm asking you to do as well. First thing we're going to do is get you warmed up. So just find yourself a little bit of space. What I want you to do is just open up your arms across your body. Just making sure you feel a little bit of a stretch coming through the chest muscles and through the shoulder muscles. And your goal here is just to prepare your body for the workout that's going to be coming up. So just taking a nice big arm movement, big ranges here. Now I'll take this arm across your chest and just bring them back and forwards just to help stretch out through those chest muscles. Next, what we're going to do is take a little rotation. So I'm just going to pivot on my feet and just allow my arms to rotate around about chest height. Now, as I start to move from one foot to the other, I'm just starting to get a bit of mobility all the way through to my hips and all the way up to my spine as well. Today, we're going to be throwing some punches, and during that punching work, I'm also going to get you to be working through some of your back muscles as well. So we're just going to need a little bit of mobility in that upper area as well. Now we're going to take a half squat. So I just want you to lower your hips down towards the floor. You don't need to go too low. All we're looking to do here is to activate the muscles. We've got a few options of you going into a few jumping movements. So if you would like to push your fitness a little bit more, you can join me with the jumps, but that's going to require you to just make sure that those leg muscles are all prepared for that work coming up. Okay, let's take it into a step back lunge. So from here, take a large step back, and you can see what I'm doing is just having a little bit of a lean back, just so I can get a nice stretch through the front of the hips. Now I've got quite a bit of hip mobility work in some of our core sections today. So I just want you to start to feel a bit of mobility coming through the body as you get this little bit of a stretch coming in. Good. Okay, shake your arms out a little bit. Next one I want you to do is take an imaginary skipping rope. Now we know that we've got a bit of combat work coming up. Now obviously one of the big sports in combat is going to be boxing. And what I want you to do is to be a bit like a boxer. I want you to push off the feet. I've got some options to take you into a few jumps as I've mentioned, but we also want a little bit of agility work from you as well. So in this position, just start moving your feet forwards and backwards for me. Now the nice thing about an imaginary skipping rope is you don't get the whip marks on your legs where you don't quite make it off the floor in time. So it's a much bit of a safer way of doing things as well. Okay, let's take those jumps wide and narrow. Good work. Now you can start to feel like your heart rate's coming up a little bit. And this will just get your heart rate prepared for the ability to push your fitness a little bit more as well. Next, just take a little bit of a jump from side to side for me. You can still keep those arms moving, it just gets a little bit of mobility through the shoulders. Okay, shake it all out. Let's take you through a little bit of a punch movement here. What I want you to do is I want you to jab, cross, jab. Now as you're doing these, just having a little bit of movement into your feet as well. As we're starting to throw these punches, what I want you to start to think about is moving around about shoulder position. So you're moving and rotating. The foot, the hip, and the shoulder all move at the same time. So jab, cross, jab. Now I want to add in a jump to this. So we're going to jump 180 degrees, and again, jab, cross, jab. Let's get these moving a little bit quicker, just so we can start to get the muscles activated, preparing you for the workout. So jab, cross, jab, making sure you're pivoting on the feet slightly as well. Jab, cross, jab. Okay, let's do these last ones. And then what we're going to do is just take you into a little bit of a knee strike. So I need an athletic strike. I want you to reach to the corner, and I want you to drive your knee up 3 times, and then we'll take it over to the opposite side. So drive your knee up. So changing direction, and once you've done those 3, drive. We'll do both sides one more time. The last one's good. Okay, just shake out your body. Now, the first exercise we're going to do is a lateral squat. So what we do is take a large step and then take a squat down. And we're going to travel from side to side, so you just need a little bit of space with you. Let's take a large step. Squat down towards the floor and then over to the opposite side. So we're just going to keep you here to begin with. Now I'm going to give you some options to challenge your fitness a little bit more, and it's up to you which option you want to take. So the next one we're going to do is we're actually going to stay a little bit lower and then go a little bit deeper. So if you can stay in a bit more of an athletic position and maintain a little bit more depth down a little bit lower, this is just going to start to challenge your leg muscles a little bit more. And I'm going to give you another option when we come back round, because each round we do, if you've been following some of our workouts in the past, what we're going to do is we're going to do each round of exercise twice. So that way then you can learn the move, and then you can start to challenge yourself a little bit more. Last ones. Good. Now the next one we're going to do is we're going to go into a scissor jump. So having 1 foot forwards, 1 foot back. We're going to scissor the legs for about 5 seconds of work. Then we're going to take our fighting stance and we're going to duck and weave away from a potential punch coming towards us. Let's get going. So about 5 seconds of work and then duck and weave. Let's go again. Sizzling those legs, and you can see I'm driving my arms just to keep my heart rate up as well. Good. Then duck and weave. Let's go again. Now when you go into those duck and weave, get down a little bit lower. Get a little bit of a bend for your legs, and then start to move again. This will start to increase your heart rate, and it starts to put a bit of mobility into your body as well. Good. Duck and weave. It's almost like a punch is coming towards you, and then you've got to duck underneath it, and underneath the next punch as well. A bit like the punches we've been throwing so far, duck and weave away from your opponent. The next exercise we're going to do is a mountain climber. So we're going to come down to the floor. You have got the option of getting the mat ready if you'd like to. I'm going to keep my hands on the floor on this one. Strong, tall, press-up position, and you're just going to walk your knees in. So this conditioning exercise is a great exercise for challenging through the core. And I just want you to drive the knees underneath your chest, keeping yourself in a strong position. Good, nice, strong. Think about your shoulder blades being back and down. Try and keep your hips in a nice straight position. We don't want your bum going up too high when you're doing these, but equally, all you don't want to do is your hips sagging and your knees scraping on the floor. So just keep that really strong position. Keep yourself being challenged through holding a bit of strength here. Just give me 10 seconds more. Then we're going to go through those 3 exercises again, but with a little variations. I've got the options of the progressions coming up for you. Okay, first exercise we're going to do is the lateral squat. This is the basic one. It was a step and a squat. Here is your advanced option. We're going to stay low, and we're going to push off. So stay low, push off. So you've got the option of making this an easy exercise, or you can challenge yourself a little bit more. You pick the option, but let's get moving. Get down nice and low if you can. Push at the ends. Good. You can see I'm just pushing my arms back as I extend my hips up from that jump, trying to stay low. So I'm working the inner and outer thighs and then pushing off as I get the quads doing a lot of work. So you might get a little bit of burning feeling coming into the legs. That's completely normal. You're also going to get your calves working and your hamstrings as well. You're doing a great job. We've just got 10 seconds to go. Can we keep the speed up now? As I said, this was your conditioning round, so we want you to try and challenge your fitness condition. Good. Relax there. We've got the scissors coming up. 1 foot forwards, 1 foot back. It will be 5 seconds of work, and then the bob and the weave. Starting in 5 seconds, grab yourself a little breather. And off we go. So the scissor motion. 1 foot forwards, 1 foot back, and then the duck and the weave. Good. Let's go again. Keep driving those arms so you can push your fitness a little bit higher, and then duck and weave. Let's go. As much work as possible. I'll be there with every single rep that you do as well. So that way then, you can push yourself. You can try and move quicker than me if you'd like to. You can try to keep up with me if you want to, wherever your level of fitness is going to be. Duck and weave. Good. Make sure you're bending the knees. As you duck down, the work comes from your knees, not just leaning your head forwards. Last one. Duck and weave. Scissor finish, and relax there. Now this one I am going to grab the mat because when we move into the next round of exercises, we're going to need it on the floor as well. So let's get down onto the floor, into a press-up position. We've got the mountain climbers to begin with. Slow, controlled work here. I want the strength muscles working here. Let's go. So shoulder blades backing down. Either looking at the top of your mat or looking at an imaginary line between your fingertips. Keep extending the legs, keeping strong. It can be an easy exercise if you're already used to these ones, but if you're not used to it, this can be a challenging exercise. It depends on what your body's conditioned to doing, but I want a strong core, and I want your arms to really get a lot of blood working through them, where they start to get a little bit of fatigue coming in them. Because in a bit, we've got some more arm exercises coming up. I want you to feel like you've been conditioned towards them. Okay, relax here. Now, the next one we're going to have a look at is called a walkout, okay? So I'm going to stand at the end of the mat. And again, you could just do this on the floor. You're going to hinge from your hips, reaching your hands towards the floor, walk your hands forwards into that strong press-up position. Now walk your hands all the way back up, keeping your legs fairly straight, and then bring yourself back up. And let's keep repeating those. So walking your hands forwards, walking your hands backwards, keeping your legs as straight as you feel if you can, and bring yourself back up. Now, if you've got tight hamstrings, you're probably going to need to bend your knees a little bit. If you're a very flexible person, you'll be going, well, what do they need to bend their knees for? It totally depends on what your fitness level is. Keep yourself in a strong position, keeping your back as straight as you can as you hinge up from the hips. Let's do this last one. Strong press-up position, walk yourself back, and bring yourself back up. Great job. Let's get down to the floor, and we're going to do a side plank. So, elbow underneath the shoulders, feet stacked upon each other. What we're going to do is a strong side plank, and we're going to move your hips up and down. Okay, so hand reaches up, create that strong plank. Now lower your hips down. So this little hip drop here, where you lower your hip towards the floor, but then you push it back up strong. And what we're going to do is about 20 seconds on each side, and then I'm going to show you a really quick transition over to the other side. You can just turn around if you want to. You'll hear me tell you when to finish. But if you want to spin around when you're not like I'm going to, that's absolutely fine. Let's go for this. So, quick rotation. Bring yourself back up, and let's go straight in. Hip drops. Lower the hips down, push yourself up high. You're doing a great job here. Keep that movement going. Keep the height, keep the fists reaching up. And the fists of fury, where you're really trying to separate the distance from your elbow to that fist up above you. Keep pushing the hips toward. Okay, relax there. Now, the next exercise we're going to have a look at is called a plank with a toe tap. So, we're going to go down into a floor-based position. From here, up into that press-up position, you're going to reach towards your toes as you plank your hips up. Come back to the press-up position and alternate to the other side. Now, this is where I want the mobility in your hips to come from. So, I want you to reach towards your toes. Now, if you can't reach your toes, that's fine. Reach to the floor. But if you find that the toes are quite easy, what about reaching to your heels? You've got the option to make it the right exercise for you and to challenge yourself to whatever level of fitness that you need it to be at. I had to learn from the workout this morning to tuck my shirt in on this one. And if any of you guys haven't as well, you're soon going to find your shirt starts to come up to your back a little bit. So keep putting that shirt back down to make you feel a little bit more comfortable. Okay, and release that. Okay, we've got the walkouts again. So we'll start this side, at the back of the mat, hinging from your hips, hands walk forwards, and then walk yourself back up again. Starting in 3 seconds. Okay, let's go for this. So hinge from your hips, hands move forwards into that strong press-up position, and then push through the heel of your hands for you to bring yourself back up to a standing position. Let's keep these going. I like this exercise. I think it's a really good one for getting a nice stretch to the back of the leg. So if you are quite tight in your hamstrings, maybe like me, you do a lot of driving normally. I do a lot of jumping training and running, so doing movements like this are really good for stretching your hamstrings. It's an amazing exercise that some people find very easy. Some people find this very challenging. You're just working on big ranges of movement from the whole body. Push yourself away, bring yourself back up. Okay, shake it out. Take it down to the side plank. Okay, feet stacked upon each other. Remember, we'll be 20 seconds this side and a quick transition over to the opposite side. Fist up into the air, create distance between your elbow and your fist. Let's lift your hips up, drop your hip down towards the floor, and then bring yourself back up again. Strong position, big range of movement. Keep yourself as tight as you can for your muscles. So think about that range of movement of your hips. But as you extend the hips up, try and really make sure that you're squeezing your butt cheeks and your quads tight. That will add a little bit more tension into your body. It might make it feel like it's working a bit harder. That's not a bad thing. Let's swap you around to the opposite side. Feet stacked upon each other. Bring yourself up again. Good. Now after this one, we've got the pikes with the toe touches. And then that will be the end of our core section. And then we've got our combat section to come. I'm looking forward to these. I want to see those knee strikes, those punches coming back in again. Okay, let's take you into those pikes with toe touches. So, press up position. Got a few seconds to recover up into that strong press up position, then you're going to reach towards your toes. I'll give you a little demo. It's going to be here, back to the center. Let's go. So making sure each time you bring the hips back down into almost like a perfect press up. Think about it. If I was to tell you I need a press up right now when you're in this position, have your hands being returned back into the right place, or your bum still stuck up in the air. That's what I want you to think about. Not that I would be so nasty to tell you to do a push up right in the middle of these as well. However, it's an idea. If you want to make it a little bit harder, that's what it's going to look like. Let's do another one. Yeah, so you've got that as the option if you want to, but just making sure that the hands come back into that press up position. Good. Last one for me, team. Good job. Okay, let's bring you out of those. Now, next up, we've got the knee strike. So let's get rid of the mats, creating a little bit of space for you. Here what we're going to do. Athletic stance. Pivoting the feet, we're going to strike the knee 3 times. Come back to the center, pivot the feet, and strike them to the opposite side. Okay? I want you to get a little bit dangerous with this. Imagine grabbing someone's head and driving your knee to really get them. However, if that's a bit too aggressive for you, think of a balloon or a ball. Whatever makes the workout right for you. So pivot the foot as you rotate from one side to the other, and then it's 3 one side, 3 over to the other. Good. Now driving those knees, getting a big range of movement. It's a great exercise for not only pushing your heart rate, but also just for dynamic movement as well. Good. Just driving that. Make it a big movement. Last ones. Good work. Okay. Here's up next. Jumping jacks for 5 seconds. Then we're going to do an overhead squat for 2 repetitions. Okay? I'll do them with you. 3 seconds to go. Then we start for 5 seconds of jumping jacks. Let's go. So the arms coming up over your head is going to challenge your fitness a little bit more. Then we go 2 overhead squats. Let's go back to those jumping jacks. Hands and arms up, nice and tall. You've got an option of a half jack if you wanted to. So you pick the intensity you want. Arms go up, 2 deep squats. Good. Here's your jumping jacks. You've got the half squat option if you wanted to. Then what we're going to do, arms up overhead, 2 deep squats. So you pick the intensity you want to go with. Arms go up, 2 deep squats. Good. Last 5 seconds. Let's get those jumping jacks working. Good work. Okay. Next up, we've got a jab cross combination. So it's jab, cross. Remember what we did in the warm-up, where I got your feet moving? I want those jab crosses, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come to a couple of undercuts as well. That's when you drop and explode up with the punches. So jab, cross. Let's just get those arms throwing at the moment. Making sure you're moving off your feet. I want a nice dynamic movement with your arms. So don't just put your arms out in front of you. I want you to try and hit and actually make a strong fist. Okay, let's take you into those uppercuts. So up, up, let's go again. Jabs, crosses. Good, and undercuts. Good, good. Let's go. Jabs and crosses. Good. Keep throwing those punches. Good, and underneath. Good, let's keep it going. Got 10 seconds of work left to go. Come under. Good. Jab and cross. Jab and cross. Keep those arms throwing. Good. Uppercut. Good. Okay, shake the arms out. Right. Let's take all those moves again. We've got the knee strikes to begin with, okay? So pivoting the feet, when you rotate to one diagonal, pivot the feet and rotate to the other diagonal, okay? 3 on each side, and we'll keep these going. Let's go for it. So grab hold, and drive your knees into where your hands are. Pivot the feet, and just a quick transition over to the opposite side. Pivot the feet. Let's go again. Good. Pivot the feet. Keep that dynamic movement going. Pivot the feet. It's really important that both the feet move at the same time, so that way we don't put any pressure onto the knee. Move, and then transition over to the opposite side. Now I've got a little option for you, if you would like it. It's going to be a kick, so we're going to kick this time, 3 times, and then we pivot, and then kick over to the opposite side. So if you're going to go into that kick, there is just a little bit of a lean back, as your leg extends in front of you. And so the last ones, you've got the option of that progression of the kick if you want it. Okay, shake it up. Jumping jacks and overhead squats. Remember the option is the half jack, or you can jump both arms and both legs at the same time. Around about 5 seconds of jumping jacks, and then 2 overhead squats. Let's go. Keeping your arms up over your head, so it's a big range of movement. And then 2 overhead squats. Reach the arms up, sink down towards the floor, and go back up again. Jumping jacks. Overhead squats, arms reach up, lower hips down towards your heels, bring yourself back up again. Let's go, jumping jacks. Okay, the last ones. Actually, that's a lie. I'm just lying to you. That's not the last ones at all. We've still got loads of time to do more. I don't want to miss you out on any exercises. You're not going to get fitter by missing exercises and workouts. Let's keep this going. Last ones here, I promise you. Jumping jacks. Let's get these overhead squats in. Good work. Okay, shake it out. Now, we did the jabs and the crosses. This time we're going to hook. Now the difference is I've got a 90-degree bend in my arm and I'm coming around about side of the head height. Okay, so it's going to be head hooks. And we're still going to come to our uppercuts as well. Let's go for these. Let's get you working. So it's about 5 seconds and then it's the uppercuts. Good, let's go. Hooks, making sure you are pivoting off your feet. Now the uppercuts. Good. Hooks. As you're getting those hooks, making sure the elbow's in line with your wrist. Good. Keep those going. Keep throwing those arms. It's about explosive speed when you throw punches. It's not about just putting your arms out in position. I want you to be strong, and I want you to maintain as much of a guard position as you can. So if you can get your hands back to the side of your face all the time, that would be a fantastic way. Okay, team. Workout is done. Let's take you through a few stretches. First thing we're going to do is take you down to the floor for some up dogs and down dogs. So bring you down. You can rest your knees on the floor, lowering your hips down towards the floor. Lift your chin and chest high. I just want you to pause here for a second. Allow your breathing to come back to you a little bit more. Now I'm going to make sure my toes are tucked under my body. I'm going to push into my hands, just like the plank movement we had earlier. This is now downward facing dog. Bring yourself forward to the up dog again. Now this time I'm going to keep my knees off the floor, just so I feel a little bit more of a stretch through the front of the hips. And again, pushing through the hands. Hips go up, heels go down towards the floor. I'm just going to walk the heels out. Just pedaling the feet away from me, just so I can get a stretch of the calves. Now, one foot comes up towards your hand. Now, if it hasn't quite made it, physically move it, that's fine. Get yourself in a strong position, reach your hand up. Now, check out my back leg. As I extend it, that gives me a better stretch. This is called the world's greatest running stretch. Fantastic stretch for getting the whole body in a rotational movement. Okay, bring that hand down, back to downward facing dog. Over towards the opposite side again, and reach your hand up, push the back heel away, and lengthen through your arms and your legs. Good, and then from here, bring your hand down, bring your feet together, slowly lower your knees down towards the floor. I'm just going to get you to roll up through your spine, and just shake out your arms and legs a little bit. Good work. Okay, we're going to do a standing quad stretch. So if you need to hold on to something, that's absolutely fine. But if you can balance, take one foot into the palm of your hand, a slight bend in the foot that's on contact with the floor. So just bending at the knee. Think about pushing your hips forward. We've done lots of little half squats. And as much as we warm them up well, I want to make sure you get a nice stretch for your hip flexor here as well. Okay, shake it out. Swap it over to the opposite side. Same thing again, slight bend in the standing foot, extend through the hip. Really good job there, that's great. Okay, shake it all out, arms reach up into the air, and I want you to lean over to one side. So you feel a stretch going all the way down the side. Now with those hip drops, I've worked that area, but also the punching would have all come from you using some of the back muscles, so this helps stretch those as well. Come back to the centre, turn over to your opposite side, and again, getting that nice long, tall stretch through the side. Come back to the centre for me. Now bring your hands behind you. I want you to link your hands together, lift your chin and chest to get a nice stretch through the chest muscles. Excellent. Good, just loosen it all out. My name's Matt, thank you very much for joining us for this Matrix Fitness workout. If you've just been checking out the exercises, we'll be back again this evening at 5 o'clock doing all these exercises again. But if that's you done for the day, we'll see you next week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, same times as normal. Thanks so much everybody, see you soon, bye-bye.